Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 173 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. Today's question was sent by Tony, and he writes, Hello Vidas, in answer to your query regarding my advancement in organ playing, I am the person who is legally blind and thus cannot sight read music. I have a very modest ability to play by ear and would like to discover a better way to play than using automated functions for single finger or simple chord methods. I find these limited at best. I am self-taught as far as my abilities go. What I want to accomplish is to develop my ability to tease apart the music so I can reproduce hymns and popular music and be able to play the music so I at least sound like I have a reasonable degree of ability to play music. Any suggestions you might make on how to accomplish these goals would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for asking. I look forward to your suggestions. Tony, USA. So, Ausra, Tony is struggling with reading music, right? Definitely. He probably can play a little bit by ear.
Yes.
And playing simple chords, right?
Yes.
Probably it means that he is using a synthesizer to play with one finger the left hand chords, but with one finger only, which is sort of a shortcut. And he writes he is legally blind, which is in quotation marks. So what does it mean, Ausra? We don't know. We just can guess that he probably means that he doesn't know how to do this, and he just guesses some methods. As he writes, he is self-taught, right?
Yes.
All right. So imagine we have a student coming to us and asking for help to start reading music. I believe if we put a score in front of him, right, and ask him to play just one voice, he couldn't do this, I think. Either in treble clef or bass clef. What do you think?
Probably not if he cannot read music, but it's crucial that he would learn to do it if he wants to achieve his goal.
All right, Ausra, of course you learned to read music long time ago, and we almost forgot how we did it, right? Because at that time we were 6 years old, and teachers just forced us to do this, and we did it without any thought.
Well, I was 5 when I learned how to read music, and actually treble clef first of all, and then later on bass clef. And my teacher told me that and she was an elderly lady, and he had a long experience, teaching experience. She told that I was the fastest learner of a bass clef. So, and I don't remember that I had to struggle with it. I just remember my mom at that time. She is not a musician and she cannot read music, although she sings well from her ear. But she would help me learning, and simply she would just ask, let's see, bass clef, third line, what note it is, and that's D, and what it's if it's on the upper line, that's A, and so forth and so on. And I learned very fast.
This was mom who tested you?
Yes.
Wow, my mother-in-law. Wonderful. She is so courageous. I don't remember my mom teaching these things to me.
Yes.
But I remember struggling with sharps and flats. I think it took me half of the year to learn 7 sharps and 7 flats.
Well, that's very easy, because we have sort of, in the Chilonis art school, we have this sort of like poem about those sharps and flats. Visis gizdas, teisis gis. Be esdes gestes ves. Once you learn, you will never forget them.
What you said just a second ago, it's still confusing to me, but I had to figure out another system without using those poetry elements, but it was really hard.
Well,
I guess
it's different, I think, for everybody.
for adults it's much easier, I think.
Although look now, I think you read from C clefs better than I do.
You don't know. We
Although
never.
I'm better than than average musician in reading C clefs, but still I think you are better than me.
You don't know. We never did an Olympic competition on that.
Maybe we should do.
We could, but music is not competition, right? It's not a sport.
Yes.
The-
And now if we go back to Tony's question, I think you could do it in two ways. You can do whatever you are doing right now, and then your progress will be almost non-existing, or you can force yourself to learn how to read music. And maybe this won't be an easiest way, but I think finally it will be the most gratifying and satisfying. What do you think, Vidas, about it?
I have probably two suggestions for him. One would be to try my organ playing master course. I think it's level 1, just for beginners, where right hand plays a single melody in very long note values at first, and then the left hand in the bass clef. Here I didn't put the note names. I assumed that people could figure out themselves where C is, where G is, because it's so slow and so basically easy. So that's one thing. Whenever a person is just a beginner, but especially adult, right, who can force themselves to figure out some note names, this course would be very beneficial, because at first it's in whole notes, then in half notes, then in quarter notes, and this level ends in I think 16 notes runs. So, but with single melodic line. Level 2 would be for two voices in two hands.
Haven't you write something about how to read music? How to learn to read music? I think you had some material about it.
In Lithuanian, yes. I had a 4-week course about that, but just in Lithuanian.
Maybe you need to do it in English.
I
And
could.
then people like Tony could benefit from it.
Yeah, you're right, probably. Yeah, that's preliminary step, right? Before learning any note names. Basically, before taking this course, which I'm talking about now, organ playing master course level 1, you need to be familiar with note names and where they are positioned on the stave and the system of the clefs, treble and the bass clef. But if you know it, you could proceed exactly to this course already. So that's suggestion number 1. And the second suggestion, how about Osha, if Tony could try to improvise based on just 4 notes. Remember my favorite exercise. You pick 4 notes, any type of notes, C, D, E, F, or C, E flat, G, and B flat, any sort of strings of 4 notes, and improvise something interesting in, let's say, 10 minutes without stopping.
Well, you can do that. It's a good exercise, but it's not final. I mean, you cannot just stick with those 4 notes and improvise for the rest of your life.
No, you can do this with 5 notes.
Well, yes,
And
but
6
you
notes,
but you
and
know what
7
I mean.
notes.
You know what I mean.
And then later 12 notes.
Because if you will just do that, it will be a dead end after a while. That's my opinion.
Dead end? Well, of course, you need a lot of theory and other technical things to do and to know and study in order to be a complete musician. But that's a good starting point if you want to develop your creativity a little bit at first.
That's true.
So, guys, apply our tips in your practice, whatever suits you, right? It's just our ideas, how we would do, at least how I would do. Osha is not necessarily agreeing with me in this, but she is very opinionated and has her own advice for you. That's okay. We're different. Because you are different too. This was Vidas.
And Usha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.